Hi, good day, and welcome to our lunchtime with Dr. Nadine and our special guest, Delia Gould. Before Delia tells you a little bit about herself, or before you get to know her a little more, I will just go through her bio. Delia is actually from the island of St. Vincent, but she resides in the UK. She's on a mission to really just help women to reclaim their happiness as she serves as a reclaiming your happiness mentor and on a mission to help people believe that they can be happy again and live more fulfilled and happy lives. She loves to see people happy. She's passionate about a mission to help them to reclaim that happiness after facing different kinds of challenges like infidelity, betrayal, and loss. Delia has faced many difficulties in her life. And each time she was able to reclaim her happiness again. And that's the mission that she's on, and that's what she's committed to doing. And so, Delia, we are so excited to have you here. And viewers, before we just bring in our special guest here, let us know in the chat, where are you joining us from today? Let us know, where are you joining us from today? Delia, welcome to Lunchtime with Dr. Nadine.
I am so happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me on your program. I am Delia Gould, creator of the You Can Be Happy Again model that helps women between the ages of 30 and 65 who have faced infidelity, betrayal, and loss of a significant other to heal, grow, and choose to be happy again.
Awesome, awesome, Delia. We're excited to have you here. We have Jamila here supporting you, your sister, joining us there from Portsmouth in the UK. We have somebody joining us from Trinidad. Because of the platform you may use, sometimes I may not be able to see exactly where you're joining us from because of maybe the platform. And so I apologize. We have Shoma Noble joining us from St. Martin. We have Ava joining us from Trinidad. Ava is now in the present court of the Speaker Mentorship Program, and she's here to support you. One of your friends are saying, so happy for Delia, my friend. Then we have Delisha Patterson joining us from St. Vincent. We have Agnes joining us from Kenya. So you have a lot of ladies in the house from all over the world. We have like so many viewers, and I'm excited, Delia. So we want to know a little bit about you. You're talking about you can be happy again. That's your signature talk. So talk to
Yeah.
us a little bit about what brought you into the speaker mentorship program.
Okay, I was introduced to your book, the Elite Book Coaching Program,
Mm-hmm.
by a friend of mine, and I always had a passion to write a book. And she told me about your program that was to start in a few days, and I jumped on board, and I got onto that program thanks to you, and that program really helped me, on my journey to become an author,
Mm-hmm.
in the process of becoming a first-time author. And after I finished that program, I was saying to myself, how can I reach more women? Because I want to be able to reach as many women as possible, who have faced difficulties in their lives and they want to find happiness again. How can I find these people? And I remember that you also have a elite a mentorship program, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to go and join that program.
Yeah.
So that's how I ended up in your program.
In the speaker program. So you came through the elite book coaching experience. And I remember we were having that chat one day, and I was saying to you, one of the easiest ways to sell your book is to have a speaking platform, a clear speaking platform. And as we were talking, you were like, that's exactly what I need.
Yes.
And I remember after you went through the program, one of the things you said to me was, I wish I had done the speaker mentorship program first. Why is that?
Yes, because it seems like I did things a little backwards. Everybody in the book program had already gone through the speaker mentorship program, but I didn't know anything of that before. The
Right,
first program I learned of is the book program, so
right.
that's why I entered into the book program. So after going through the mentorship program, I realized, that I had learned a number of stuff that can help me in the writing of my book.
Mm-hmm.
And my message became clearer. My mission became clearer as I went through that process.
Mm-hmm.
So I that's why I was saying, maybe I, should have done this first before doing the book program.
Yeah, because you got so much clarity. You were like,
Yes,
now it all makes sense.
yes, that is true. That is true. Everything came together. It was like a light bulb moment, when everything just came together, and I knew exactly, what my purpose and my mission was.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a very exciting feeling when I have found my mission in life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm excited for you. And I know it may have seemed backward for us because of when we met, but I'm still excited that you were able to go into the speaker program and get that clarity and also that confirmation that this is it.
Yes,
What I want to do. And so I
yes.
just want to let you know you have some more shout outs in the house. We have Delcia Patterson watching from St. Vincent. I mentioned her earlier on. I believe, we have Kathy and Gould, your mom, who says her mom from St. Vincent. All right. We have Sharon Duglin joining us from Barbados. We have Simply Natural Bella. We went to school together, and you may know her. She says, nice seeing one of my former bosses. This is Mel. So you
Oh,
may recognize Mel. Okay. And
okay.
also, she's Melissa. She's in Trinidad, but you know her from St. Vincent there. And so you're getting some shouts outs. Auntie Delia, somebody's excited for you, right? And so we're happy. We also have Juanita as well. And so you have supporters just coming in, flooding in to hear you and your story. So Delia, your book that we will talk about. I want to bring you back another time where we will just focus on just your book. But today we're talking about your speaking platform, your book already, you're in the working, it's almost finished. But we're talking about your message. So you came into the speaker program, you got clarity, you finally got that this is it, aha, this is what I'm supposed to do. But the story itself that you've been through, the message that you have about you can be happy again comes from a painful experience. So you probably want to talk to our viewers about what led you to that search of happiness and finding it again, and now being on that journey to help other people find it. What is the background of that story?
Yes, it was indeed a dark place. It was indeed a dark place. Uh, um, have you ever been treated on? I'm talking to our listeners here now. Have you ever been treated on? Have you ever been betrayed? Well, that is my story. It all started when I noticed that the dynamics between my husband and best friend relationship was changing. They were becoming too close for my comfort. And it led me to a point where I found one of his phone bills. And in that bill, I saw that there was one particular number that he was calling very often. The first call in the morning, the last call at night. I noticed the same number. And there were a number of texts, up to about 15 texts a day. And I recognized the number because it was a number that I usually called. It was my best friend's number. And I was really wondering, why is my husband calling my best friend so often? One of the calls was even at 1 a.m. in the morning when I would have been in my bed fast asleep. And I confronted both of them, and they both denied it. They're just friends. And for 3 years, 3 years, they kept saying that they were just friends. But the relationship that they had, there were a number of things that I was seeing, that just made me believe that there was something more. And as women, we have like a sixth sense to these things. There was just it was just too much. And I was very depressed, because I felt like I was losing my husband. I felt like I was losing him in front of my very eyes. things that he and I used to do, he was now doing with her, and he didn't want to do things with me anymore, go out with me, and stuff like that. A number of changes. At one point, he even forgot my birthday. So many things that were happening that made me feel very sad and very depressed. And I reached to the point where I actually fainted one day. And that was my turning point. I said to myself, because for some reason he did not want to leave her. He was like, she didn't get herself pregnant, and I want to be there for her and the baby, you
Oh,
know?
so she was pregnant.
Yes.
Okay.
She got pregnant for him, and at one point both of us were pregnant at the same time, but I eventually lost my baby. I had a miscarriage.
Mm-hmm.
But I reached to the point where I fainted, as I said before. And that made me realize, you know what? I can't go on like this, because I wasn't eating, I wasn't sleeping, I had lost a lot of weight. I became like figure one, and unrecognizable to my own self.
Mm-hmm.
And it was not helping me at all. And when I fainted, I realized, you know what, I need to make a change. So what I did, I started to at look towards the people who love me, and I started to focus more on my kids, because I had two young children at that point. I started to focus more on them, and making sure that I am there
Mm-hmm.
to look after them. I want to be there to look after them, because if I had continued on that road, I don't know if I would have been alive here today. I don't know where I would have been.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a very traumatic experience for me.
Mm-hmm. But prior to that situation, you guys were happy.
Yes.
Like I remember you saying you guys did a lot of dating and
Yes. Yeah, we were very happy, because when you meet, and when he touches you, you get those love flies in your stomach, and you have that feeling. I really, as I tell people, I know what it means to be loved, because I experienced it with my husband. We went out a lot together at dinners. We went to the gardens. We went to the fort. We went, drive around, every Tuesday. That was evening after work. That was our special time together.
wow, wow.
We decided to choose a day, because we were so busy, and we realized we weren't getting to spend any time with each other. So we decided, okay, we're going to take this day, and it's going to be our special evening. And that is what we did. And even after we got married, that went over into the marriage, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So we had a very good life together. God really blessed us. We
Mm-hmm.
had our own home, we have vehicles, we had a business together,
Mm-hmm.
and everything was going well until
It wasn't. And so,
oh,
okay, so this bad situation happened, and then you're on the verge of probably almost dying because I remember you talking about you about to fall and somebody just picks you up. And then, of course, that turnaround point was okay, I need to now refocus on my life. I need to
yes,
find happiness again. Now,
yes.
you going through all of that stuff, you coming into a program where it's notorious that people go digging into all that stuff. What was it like for you just unearthing all of these feelings and going back to that? And did that bring you healing? What did it do for you as you wrote? Well, as you were writing that signature story.
Well, at times I had to like stop, because when you're digging up all these, emotions and things that you because the way how I deal with things, I try to look to the future, so I don't focus on those bad things. So I
Mm-hmm,
had just put them away. And I didn't focus on them. I focused on my future, what I want to do, how I
mm-hmm,
am going to be there for my kids and stuff like that. And going through this program and having to go through that, dig them up and go through that, experience all over again. Because when you're writing it, it's like you're
Right.
reliving that experience. And it was really something. At times I had to like stop, you know, and try and compose myself. And
Mm-hmm.
even now, I feel like I'm beginning to get a bit emotional because, just those thoughts coming back to where I was,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
in those dark moments of my life.
So can you say safely, are you feeling, or do you feel as if you're healed, you're past it, you're forgiven? What was that process like for you? Like just being able to, because I know coming on here today must have taken a lot from you. I know that writing that story was taking a lot from you, but and then to get out there into the public, because right here on the call we have people from St. Vincent, and St. Vincent is an island I've been to. It's small, like most Caribbean islands. What was it like for you just going through that in a small island? You know?
It was it was really it was really hard. It was really difficult because I remember at one point, my husband was going around and spreading all sorts of rumors, you know, lies against me. And at a point, every time I see him speaking to somebody, I would go and talk to that person and tell the person, what happened. And I find myself, being so anxious, and it was beginning to have a negative impact on my mental health,
Mm,
because having to always go and talking to other people about what is happening, and I decided, you know what, God knows the truth. I know the truth, and I'm done with that.
mhm,
I'm not going to be going around and talking to Tom, Dick, and Harry and everybody,
mhm,
about what happened. And it was quite difficult because we're all living, as you said, it's a small area.
mhm.
Everybody knows their business. You go to church, they know your business. You're in town, they know your business. Everywhere you go, they know your business, and it was really, difficult for me.
I would almost imagine, because I know how we small islanders do. I just know, like, people like to talk church people small.
Oh,
We know just how it goes. But now
yes,
you're here online speaking
yes.
openly about it, and all of these people are alive. How do you feel right now that you're liberated to share your story and also to be helping other people, because you're telling people you may be down and in that dark place, but you can be happy again because that's what I did, which is your core message. You know, what is it taking from you just in this moment, just to be able to be here speaking your truth?
Well, you asked me a question earlier about, where I'm at,
Mm-hmm.
I I can say that I have healed. I would not say 100% because, just talking about, there was a time where I couldn't talk about the situation without being very emotional and break down.
Right.
But I have come to the point now where I can talk to you about it. The
Mm-hmm.
emotions will be there still, but they're not overwhelming enough to take control of me.
Right.
You
Right.
understand? And what a few months ago, I went on a program, the SCC program, Women's Ministry program in the UK,
Mm-hmm.
and I was talking about forgiveness,
Mm-hmm.
right? And my journey in forgiving both my ex-husband and my best friend, my ex-best friend. And I was so shocked to see the amount of comments that were going through about people, who seem to be facing the same thing. They're uncertain about, how to go about dealing with this. They had so many questions, that even gave me more drive and, to want to help
Mm-hmm.
people, because I realize there are a lot of people out there who are hurting.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're in that dark place,
Mm-hmm.
you don't know what to do. You
Mm-hmm.
need help.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to be there to help women
Mm-hmm.
make it through, help them realize that they can be happy again. It's not the end. It is not the end. It can be a new beginning for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm happy that you're just driving that point in, because I think so many of us, and I do not want to judge you or anybody for that matter, but I think that there is an issue where too many of us hinge our happiness on a spouse or on a relationship. And some of us, if we're single, we're thinking, well, I'll be happier if I was married, you know? And so I think sometimes I love your message of you can be happy again, and I think the deeper message of being happy, just being you and being with you, and not hinging it on a relationship, because when that relationship crashes, then sometimes we feel that the whole world falls apart.
Yes. And that is one of the biggest mistakes I think that I made in my marriage. My happiness was hinged on that relationship. I depended on my husband to
Mhm.
make me happy.
Mm.
But I reached to the point where I realized that I am responsible for my own happiness. And I started to do things that would make me happy.
Right.
I started to go out with my friends. I started to have shop therapy, and I started to do little things that makes me happy and
Mhm.
focus on the people who loves me. So
Mhm.
that is, I'm so grateful that you brought up that point, because I think that's where a lot of women, as women, we fail. You don't need a man to be happy in your life. You don't
Right.
need a man in your life to be happy. I'm telling you, you don't. You can make, yourself happy. You can find happiness within yourself.
Yeah, and we love guys, we love men. We're not saying anything about them. What we're saying is that
Oh,
it's the proclivity of us as women
yes.
sometimes to think, one, if I'm alone, if I'm single, then that's not real happiness. And two, if I have a marriage and my husband is supposed to be the source of my happiness, and
Mhm.
recognizing, you walk with your happiness. I was saying to a friend recently, I say we walk with our light. So let's walk with our
Mm.
own happiness and stop
Yes,
trying to think that a man is supposed to. And that's what I think, in a lot of ways we have a lot of issues as women. It's like, for example, oh, I love flowers, he needs to give it to me. I love roses, he needs to give it to me. I love chocolate, he needs to give it to me. I love perfume, he needs. No, do it for you. Be
yes,
the source of that happiness. It
yes,
makes you happy, get it. It makes
yes,
you happy, do it. And
yes.
so I love the fact that your message is about helping us to reclaim that, and understanding that dependence that we have on another human being to be the source of our happiness is dangerous.
It is very dangerous, because when that goes, it's like your happiness goes with it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And that's not good. And so we
Mm.
have some comments coming through here. Delcia is saying, I'm happy for you, Delia. This will make a change in the lives of ladies. Jamila is saying, take back control of your life. It reminds me of, I can't remember if it was a Speaker of the House or some lady here in the US who was saying, I'm reclaiming my time. We're reclaiming our happiness. Let's make
Ah,
it happen.
yes.
Here, Kimmy Kims is saying, I'm late, but I had to rewind a bit to catch up. Thanks for sharing. Some women think marriage is a magic bed of roses, but roses wither and they grow back. You also have to tend to them to bloom. Serious big point here. Sharon is saying, yes, ma'am, do it for yourself. Use your love language to yes to make you happy. Somebody else is saying, thanks for sharing. Ladies, we're appreciating your feedback here. So, Delia, you're on that mission to help women find or reclaim their happiness, to be happy again, because you've been through. And I'm excited because when we bring you back and we talk about your book, it means we're going to go in depth about that message. And I know that you're going to be doing more work in that way. Um, how has life been for you now that you've reclaimed your happiness? I'm going to be happy again. What is life like for you?
Well, I'm more contented with my life. I stress less.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more focused,
Mm-hmm.
and it has helped me to find my purpose.
Mm.
If I did not experience, I feel as though if I didn't experience this, I might not have found my purpose.
Wow.
in helping women to
Wow.
reclaim their happiness.
Wow.
And yeah, that's definitely, what it has helped. I firmly believe that sometimes God allows us to go through certain situations to
Mm,
put us in a better place to
mm,
help others who are going through similar situations. You
wow.
know,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's deep. It reminds me of something Jamila said when we were in the book program. I believe it was about your pain, turning your pain to purpose. And that's some deep stuff there, because at the end of the day, none of us want to be that sacrificial lamb. The truth is we want to enjoy our lives. We don't want to
yes,
be that. But just in case, because I honestly do not believe that God chooses that dangerous or treacherous path or unhappy
mm,
one for us. But
no,
if we find ourselves in it,
mm-hmm,
because of his love for us, he's going to
mm-hmm,
take that messy situation and then give us a powerful message as he's giving you. But I'm sure before you were conceived, he didn't say, Diddy, I'm going to choose that path for you. No. But because I love you so much, I am going to take what the enemy meant to destroy you, to take your life, to
yes,
send you in a madhouse. And I'm
yes.
going to use that experience to do some good work with it. You
Yes.
know?
And one of the interesting things as I went through this process that I found out, that I found out that we are expected to use our mess to bless,
Yes. Ooh,
to bless others.
yeah.
No matter what you're going through, you can use that to help others.
Mm,
That's what life is all about.
snap.
Being there for fellow men, fellow women, and everyone.
I love it. I love that one. Use our mess to bless. Hey, that's a drop right there. And so we have people saying, Ferian saying, I am so happy for you, Delia. We have Lorna joining us from upstate New York. She's on vacation in South Carolina. Auntie Delia, hi, it's Abigail. Miss you a lot. So proud of you, Auntie. I love you so much, girl. You got the cheering going on. Look, Mel is saying, happy for you, Miss D. Glad you're using your experience to help others. Look, Jamila is saying, wow, touchy. Yeah, I just love that use our mess to bless vibe. It's just so amazing. So Delia, you're on that mission,
Yes,
helping people to make a difference, to use the mess
yes,
so they could bless people. Where can
yes.
people find you? Because you're talking about finding happiness. You're talking about reclaiming that happiness. Sometimes as Christians, we have this false belief that happiness is not a good thing, because we tend to think, oh, the Bible speaks about joy, and therefore we think, oh, happiness is frivolous. But I believe that the God who created us for all good things, I know the thoughts I think toward you, thoughts of peace and not of evil, that God wants us to also be happy. And you're helping people find that happiness again. Where can people find you? Who are you looking to work with, and where can they find you? Because we need people to know where they can reach you.
Okay. You did mention my book. If I can just say something
Yes.
about that quickly. My book is entitled "You Can Be Happy Again: Bouncing Back After Infidelity, Betrayal, and Loss." And if you're a woman who have been married, maybe you're married for many years, you built a life together with your husband, maybe have children, and only to find that you were cheated on and betrayed. Your husband left you for another woman, and you hardly have anything to show for it. You have to start life all over again. This book is for you. Or maybe you might be in a relationship right now and you have suspicions that your partner might be having an affair, but you're not sure. I'm telling you, you need to read this book to find out more about that. And I in there I share a number of intimate and shocking details of my experience. I left nothing out. So
Mhm.
you can find out more about that in that book. But you can find me on if you search for me for Delia Gould on Facebook, Twitter, and you and LinkedIn, as Delia Gould, as I said. And you can also find me on my book landing page, deliagould.com, or you can email me on you can be happy again too @gmail.com. I am looking forward to helping you work through your darkest periods in your life.
So I have a question as we wind down. Is it only in that instance, like people who just have, betrayal and thing, or is it some form of loss? Because sometimes we may not be cheated on. Sometimes we may be in relationships, but even in the relationship, you feel a loss. It might not be, the loss of that nature. Are we able, or should we look forward to reading your book as well, or inviting you? Because the goal right now is to get you speaking out there, the ladies that want to be happy again. And I think sometimes our loss and betrayals may not always be of what you have experienced, but we may want to be happy again for some other reason because we lost something. We probably betrayed our own self by being in relationships where we lost ourselves, and we want to find ourselves again.
Uh,
Should we look forward to reading your book? Are there lessons in
ye-
there for us? And if you speak,
yes,
you know,
yes, there are. And thank you for raising that. There are. And even in the book, I talk about, loving yourself.
mhm.
And we all need to love ourselves. Sometimes as women, we lose ourselves, in our chores, in our careers, and in everything. And we don't do things to love ourselves. We don't act as though we love ourselves. We exhort ourselves, over exhort ourselves, and we don't take time out for ourselves. So it does not matter what experience you might have gone through. This book has the keys or steps as to how you can find your happiness again in any situation. So
Thank
I
you.
encourage you to look out for this book and get it
So
when
if
it
people
is.
want to have you speak at the events, they could reach out to you by at you can be happy again too at gmail.com. If
Yes,
you have a group of ladies that you're serving, some ladies who may be sad, who may really need to find their happiness, reclaim their happiness again. I love it. Lorna is saying, sometimes that people get offended when we say we don't need a man to be happy, but all we need is God. Sometimes God allows us to go through stuff. And so yeah, your cousin is saying happy you're sharing your story to help others. Deborah Felix joined us from Trinidad is saying proud of you, go light your world. We're all excited for you, Delia, because your message is powerful and I believe it goes beyond just your experience, but so many of us losing ourselves, so many of us betraying ourselves by not living in the true light of who we're meant to be. We're not living in our divine purpose, and it's a form of betrayal every day. And I think that when we're living in alignment with the will of God for us, we can be happy. We may not have everything going for us, but at
yes,
least we can have that joy that we speak about, but
yes,
also the happiness that we can, light the lives of others. Delia, I'm excited for you. We look forward to bringing you back to just talk about the book itself and
yes,
stuff like that. But your message is out. You can be happy again. I trust that all who have listened today, the ladies who came on, your family who came on to support you, you got a lot of family support today. You're loved, Delia. You're loved. And so, if you had anything to say as we wind down, to a lady who's thinking, sitting on the fence, I have a story to tell. I don't know where to begin. What would you say to her about the speaker mentorship program?
Well, I would say it might be difficult for you to tell your story. It might be difficult for you to share your story because, these are, like the saddest moments in your life. They're not easy, but just think of it as I said earlier, using your mess to bless. Think of it as, you're able to help others because you want to others to be happy. You want them to live a full life. You want to do your bit to society, to humanity. So I would encourage you to you can do this speaker mentorship program that would give you the tools to that you need to set your platform in a professional manner. Because one thing I admired with the program, we were able to get our posters, our signature emails. We were able to have so many other resources that we can use in when we're launching our platform.
Right.
So trust me, it would be quite beneficial for you.
I'm happy you mentioned that because a lot of times, people think about I want to speak, but they don't know the back work, which
Yes,
is a professional front of being able to. So in the speaker program, we do your
yes,
speak. sheet, we do your signature emails, your introduction, everything that you need to actually launch out there. So you don't just have a message and then you have no platform. So we create that visibility so that you can now build credibility. And Didi, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for your journey. I'm excited that you have braved it and you've come on, because I know when we met, I know that you were still so much behind the scenes and it was taking a lot, but you came on today excited to share. And so we're proud of you and we look forward to seeing what God will do in your life, the work that you're about to do with women all over the world as you share the message of being just choosing to be happy again. So God bless you, viewers. Thank you so much. Join us tomorrow as we have our last lady being featured, not just for the series for this week, but also this is our last series for 2022. We'll start back again in 2023, God willing. And so thank you for being here, Delia. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for your boldness in coming out today. Viewers, thank you. We loved having you here with us. If you're watching it on replay, you can always leave your comments for us. You can always reach out to Delia. Her email is on the screen. Her website is on the screen where you can get more info about her book. You can also reach her by email so you can book her to speak at one of your events. God bless you all. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.